The power of first impressions. In every professional or personal interaction, the first impression is often the most lasting. Research shows that individuals form opinions about each other within the first 40 seconds of meeting, and those impressions can persist for a lifetime. This brief yet powerful window can shape perceptions, decisions, and opportunities long after the interaction ends. Ritika, a fresh business graduate, attends her first job interview. She's well qualified, articulate, and ambitious. However, she arrives 5 minutes late, appears slightly disheveled, and seems distracted. Though her answers during the interview are technically sound, the hiring panel notes her lack of professionalism and preparedness. Despite her strong academic record, she does not get the offer. Later, Ritika learns through a friend in the company that the panel perceived her as disorganized and not ready for client-facing roles. Though this may not reflect her true capabilities, the first impression she made was difficult to reverse. First impressions are formed through a combination of visual cues, behavior, communication, and overall energy. In Ritika's case, several factors shaped the negative first impression. Grooming and punctuality. Her late arrival and untidy appearance implied carelessness. Body language and focus, distraction and lack of eye contact undermined her credibility. Attitude and energy. Despite her knowledge, her demeanor failed to inspire confidence. These small yet significant details influenced how the interviewers judged her, not just in that moment, but long after the meeting. Key insights. 1. First impressions are formed in under a minute and are incredibly hard to change. 2. Judgments may be fair or unfair, but they occur subconsciously and quickly. 3. You rarely receive direct feedback on how you're perceived, but can infer it from outcomes like opportunities, reactions, or promotions. 4. Direct and indirect feedback, for example, compliments, job offers, or being ignored, shapes how others view your persona. While we can't completely control how others perceive us, we can intentionally craft how we present ourselves in those critical first moments. A powerful first impression combines multiple aspects of your personality and presence. Conduct in different social and professional situations. Grooming and attire appropriate to the context. Self-expression and confidence. Behavior and attitude toward others. Mannerisms and consistency. Communication skills, clarity, tone, listening. Interpersonal skills, ability to bond, engage, and relate. First impressions are not just about looking good, they are about projecting the best version of yourself, authentically and consistently. Like Ritika, many professionals learn this lesson only after missed opportunities. But with awareness and effort, one can ensure that every first impression is a strong step toward lasting success. Parts of first impression. First impression largely involves personal brand and charisma, image impact and self-management, interpersonal and relationship skills, executive presence, developing gravitas, inculcating a magnetic, commanding personality. Types of first impression. 3. Planned first impression. It is planned, when you are aware of it. Example. Job interview or scheduled interaction. Meeting with client or at work. Romantic occasions. Social occasions and family commitments. 4. 5. Unplanned first impression. It can be unplanned, when you are not prepared for it. For example, people looking at you when you are walking to office, when you are traveling, when you are shopping or eating at a restaurant, in fact any place where people around you are strangers to you. Effects of the first impression. Different people react differently on account of the impression you have made on them. This depends largely on your professional or social standing with them. If you are of similar professional, business or social level, you are considered suitable for further interaction. If you are higher in the professional or social hierarchy, then you are usually followed and cultivated as a valuable contact. If you are lower in professional or social standing, you are just kept in the loop as a general contact. Self-image and first impression. First impression is a function of self-image. In other words, how you perceive yourself largely influences how the world perceives you. Being well-dressed, well-mannered and well-groomed will have no effect if the person is feeling low or suffering from low self-esteem. A positive self-image puts the wind in your sails. The enthusiasm and the energy that spreads create the best first impression. Thus, self-image and first impressions are closely related. Self-image is how you view yourself, your self-worth and your abilities. It is the value you place on yourself and how you feel about life. Self-image is influenced by your self-esteem and your body image. Self-image is so strong that you can spend your entire life validating it. Self-image is what you think you are. It is a combination of many factors, from how others have behaved with you and treat you and how you felt when you compared yourself to others. Factors that affect one's self-image. Colleagues and peers. Friends. Mentors and coaches. Parents. Teachers. Social media and television. Movies. Magazines. Successes and failures. Case in point, Rima has grown up as a slightly overweight child. Ever since she was young, she is used to people calling her fat. She has tried various diets and exercise but does not seem to be able to alter her body shape. She is envious of the other people in her office who are able to fit into smaller size, tight-fitting clothes. She is acutely embarrassed of her body and thus her self-image has suffered. She has started doubting herself, her work, in fact everything she does. This results in a dip in her work performance and her appraisals also suffer. While she is obsessed with becoming thin, she has lost sight of the big picture, i.e. her relationship with her superiors and her attitude towards her job. She finally meets a psychologist who diagnoses her condition and suggests ways to boost her self-esteem. Rima is now comfortable in her own and has stopped making comparisons with others. Instead, she is focusing on her job and her bosses and colleagues are very happy with her. In fact, for the first time she has been invited to the CEO's house for a get-together. Beautiful on the inside. Inner beauty is as important as outer beauty. For the exterior to shine, it is very important for the product to be perfect on the inside as well. It is not enough to spend billions on the exterior of a building if the roof leaks at the slightest rain. When a customer buys an expensive designer product, they are expecting not only the product to be luxury, but the overall buying experience to be luxurious as well. Great designers spend equal amount of time on designing how products look on the inside as much as the outside. Irrespective of whether the customer will notice or not. Great design does not let irregularity in manufacturing or design defects slide. Case in point, Steve Jobs, as quoted in Walter Isaacson's biography titled Steve Jobs on Jobs' Father, who rebuilt cars, and held design and craftsmanship in high regard. One of the most important things he taught Steve was that it is important to be a great craftsman, even for the parts unseen. When they were building a fence, he said, "You have to make the back of the fence that people won't see look just as beautiful as the front. Just like a great carpenter would make the back of a chest of drawers, even though others won't see it, you will know it's there, and that will make you more proud of your design." Steve Jobs reportedly made Apple spend millions to change the design on the motherboard of the Apple II because the lines were not straight. As a customer, you and I rarely see the inside of an Apple product, but the attention to detail is what makes great products. Comparison then can be made between first impressions and self-image. Whereas first impressions are largely made on the exterior of a person, the self-image deals with what the person is feeling internally. Both need to go hand in hand for a dynamic personality. Ways to make the best first impression. 1. Positive body language. Body language is perhaps the first thing people see while forming their first impression about you. Dress, voice, gesture, courtesy and etiquette, listening skills, posture, grooming and hygiene, eye contact, etc. all form a package that can either prove to be a wonderful present for others or a deadly combination that can undo your best intentions. Powerful and positive body language is the first but most important step towards getting people to accept you. 2. A bright smile and handshake. As the saying goes, smile and the world smiles with you. As a part of your body language, a warm and confident smile will put both you and the other person at ease. It makes you look friendly and approachable. However, keep in mind the cultural differences. In the Western countries it is customary to smile at strangers in public places like elevators or public transport. But don't go overboard with this, as your smile can be misconstrued as an invitation to make contact. But don't let that stop you from genuinely smiling. The handshake is an internationally accepted form of greeting. Shake hands for 2 to 3 seconds firmly but not in a crushing grip. Never shake with wet hands and make sure you shake hands with both men and women in a group. Larger view. 3. 4. Case in point, Subhash was coming out of his college washroom just before his job interview, when he saw the interview panel signal to him to come in. He quickly collected his portfolio folder, and ran his hands over his hair. As soon as he entered, the main interviewer asked him to sit down. Instead, Subhash gave him the fish. In other words, he held out his wet hand which the interviewer held in a handshake. Immediately, a look of disgust was seen on the interviewer's face. He took out his handkerchief and wiped his hand dry. Subhash had shaken his hand immediately after coming out of the washroom, with wet hands. The interviewer was not happy at all. Once the question and answer session was concluded, Subhash again held out his hand, which the interviewer did not take. It was a very awkward moment for everyone and Subhash did not clear the interview round. Larger view. 5. 6. 7. Be yourself. If you are trying to behave like someone else or put on an act, it will soon become clear to everyone that you are trying to fool them. People are smart and your artificiality will soon be exposed. Instead, be yourself. Explore your personality and play to your strengths. Be genuinely interested in other people. One should like to be in the company of other people. Remember the 4 C's when interacting with others. Calm, cool, comfortable, confident. 8. This will make the others feel at ease and comfortable around you. 9. Blend in, make the effort to fit into your environment. While it is good to be different and stand out, it is not always appropriate to be the odd person out from the crowd. Dress professionally in a workplace setting and casually outside. Appropriate behavior and mannerisms must be exhibited depending upon the situation in your company. Doing a little research before you actually set out for the occasion will go a long way in making you appear prepared and relaxed. Show your individuality in your time and own space. Don't let it adversely affect your relationships with others. Case in point, Rocky is a part-time musician, looking to build a full-time career in advertising. He gets his first break in an ad agency in Mumbai and soon rises up the ladder in his company. After 6 years, his company is acquired by a Korean company, known for their traditional values. His office shifts to the Korean company's Delhi headquarters. Rocky soon finds himself in the company of others dressed in formal attire in office. He feels totally out of place in his colored hair, torn jeans and tattoos, which were barely noticed by anyone in his old office. Others laugh at him and talk about him behind his back. He insists on dressing in his usual manner, but finds that he is not getting any recognition at work. His colleagues and superiors don't take him seriously. But he refuses to change. Soon, he is forced to leave his job and look for another, but it's not easy finding another job in the recession. He feels he should have tried to fit better into the new company's culture. 10. 11. 12. Punctuality. Your time management is your task, not of others. Being on time shows respect and seriousness for the occasion. The same standards of good punctuality have to be exhibited on the job and outside the job as well. You should be known for your adherence to time schedules. Once this happens, you will start getting more favorable responses and make better relationships in all areas of your life. There is no room for excuses in the real world. Whether it is a job interview or work, a social occasion or personal appointment, do your research about the location, weather, traffic, etc. in advance. In this era of Google Maps, there is no excuse for being late. Remember, if the others can reach on time, so can you. I am late, because I started late, Winston Churchill. 13. Talk to convince. Speaking with strangers or meeting people for the first time, especially public speaking, makes most people a little nervous. This is perfectly normal. Stranger anxiety shows itself in nervous tics of the face, trembling, sweaty palms, weak voice, racing heartbeat, etc. This makes you look unsure, hesitant, and ruins your first impression. Practice speaking in front of the mirror and take public speaking classes to gain speaking confidence. Learn the art of small talk in professional and personal situations to break the ice and get along better with others. Speaking to make the best first impression. 1. Before a job interview, do some research on the company. Compliment the interviewer on some positive development in that company, like record profits or a takeover, to show off your knowledge. 2. While attending a party in a superior's house, take a small gift. Make some positive comments on the area or location and compliment him/her for the arrangement and the food. 3. Before making an impromptu professional presentation, talk about a previous presentation or something that has just happened around everyone in the company. Involve everyone in the opening words and then plunge into your main talk. 4. Before attending a party at a friend's house, make sure you have read the day's news and your general awareness levels are high. When meeting a stranger, ask neutral questions like "What do you do?" or "Do you live close by?" Avoid controversial topics like race, religion, or politics. Do not get into arguments or loud discussions with anyone. 14. Remember, good speakers are perceived to be more knowledgeable than the others. 15. A positive mental attitude. A positive attitude shows your face, your body language, and your actions. Life becomes more happy and sunny, and Monday mornings appear to be events that cause excitement rather than pain. Face the challenges of life head on rather than procrastinating. Look for opportunities in areas where others fear to go. Remember that bad times never last. Good people do. So, whenever you feel down or low, reach out to someone you can talk to or take professional help. 16. Developing your personal brand. Personal branding is the practice of promoting yourself and your career as a brand. It is the constant process of establishing your image or impression in the mind of others about yourself. Everyone has a personal brand, whether they are aware of it or not. Your personal brand is what you stand for. It is the sum total of the combined experiences and impressions that you leave on anyone who comes into contact with you, either physically or digitally. Developing a powerful personal brand is extremely important, as it is the gateway of making your place in society. When you develop a strong personal brand, it becomes easy for people to remember you when promotions or awards are handed out. Always remember that being low profile all the time is very dangerous to your career. Out of sight is out of mind. Personal branding enables you to remain in the high profile spotlight and in your boss's minds at all times. In a competitive professional environment and crowded personal space, it is very difficult to stand out from the crowd. Your personal brand helps you to emerge as a first among equals. People remember you positively in your absence and emulate your characteristics. Most people want to be described as technically sound, socially skilled, of honest character and values, and committed to your work, your friends, your company and your family. Research shows that the most wanted traits are trustworthiness, caring, humility, and capability. 3.9.1 How to develop a powerful personal brand? Ask yourself the question, what do I want my key stakeholders to say about me when I'm not in the room? This description is your desired professional brand. Likewise, you might also ask yourself in another way, what would I care about that my key stakeholders might say about me when I'm not in the room? The answer to this question is your undesired professional image. 3.9.2 What are the steps individuals should take to manage their professional brand? 1. Accept that if you aren't managing your own professional image, someone else is. In other words, your personal branding is done by others in the way they respond to you. So, it is in your best interest to be in control of your personal brand. 2. Observe the fact that people are observing your behavior and actions and are forming opinions about your competence, character, and commitment. They then translate these opinions into action and spread the word around about you accordingly. 3. Work at it constantly. Personal branding does not happen in a day. It takes effort, time, and commitment to spread the right impression about yourself. Through digital media and physical contact, your actions over a period of time spread the word about you and people begin to form the right impression of you. That's the beginning of your personal brand. 4. SWOT. Do a personal SWOT analysis. How to do a personal SWOT. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. A SWOT analysis on oneself is an objective and sharp look inwards. Once you honestly prepare a list of your strengths and weaknesses and identify potential opportunities and obstacles in your life, you can make informed decisions. These decisions help in creating the best impression and creation of your personal brand. Ways to do a personal SWOT. Take a strategic and proactive approach to your accomplishments. Identify your ideal state of mind. What are the core competencies and characteristics that you want people to associate with you? What part of your personality would you like to highlight and what part would you like to minimize? Assess your current image, social economic background and immediate environment. View the environment around you from a micro and macro perspective. In other words, things which immediately affect you and things which can have an effect, both positive or negative in a few years. How equipped are you to handle those potential situations, economically, financially, education-wise and exposure-wise? How do others currently perceive you? Conduct a cost-benefit analysis for your self-image change. For example, if you had to change yourself from being a very casual and free-spirited person to a very conservative and traditional person, is it worth it? Is the time, money and effort justified? Do you care about others' perceptions of you? Are you capable of changing your image? Are the benefits worth the physiological, psychological, emotional and financial costs? Correlation between self-esteem and self-image. Self-image, the way we see ourselves. Self-esteem, the way we feel about ourselves. Self-confidence, belief about our ability, capability and potential. Positive self-esteem and self-confidence are very important because 1. When you accept yourself, you can live comfortably with your personal strengths and weaknesses, without undue self-criticism. 2. When you respect yourself, you acknowledge your own dignity and value as a unique human being. 3. You treat yourself well, in much the same way that you would treat others. 4. We feel good about ourselves and we make others feel good as well. 5. We feel in control of our life and are flexible and resourceful. 6. We are able to make choices about how we run our life. 7. We enjoy the challenges that life throws at us and are ready to take life head on. 8. We can realize our own potential by combining all our abilities in a balanced and harmonious way. How to build self-esteem and confidence. Life is a numbers game. The more times you try something, the better the odds of achieving it. It makes no different with self-confidence. 1. Acknowledge your insecurity. Whatever is making you feel low, depressed, shy or inferior, first acknowledge its presence. Write down the situations when you feel this way. Learn to accept yourself with your strengths and weaknesses. And then focus on making your strengths work for you. Everyone is good at something. Find your USP. 2. Don't give depression a permission. No one can make you feel bad without your permission. So, don't let negative thoughts enter a place in your mind. 4. Talk it out, to friends, to family, to a counselor, to anyone you trust. Talking and sharing the pain is a huge start to developing self-esteem. 6. Learn from your mistakes. No one is perfect. Everyone started out somewhere in life. Make mistakes. Fail surely, but only a fool makes the same mistake twice. You may not get a second chance, so learn all you can from the first. 8. An attitude of gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. Focusing on what you don't leads to a sense of insecurity, inadequateness and loss of self-confidence. By appreciating what you have, you can fight the feeling of being incomplete and unsatisfied. Achieving that inner peace will do wonders for your confidence. 10. Avoid self-pity. Don't let anyone pity on you or look for sympathy. Shallow words may make you feel good temporarily, but have no effect in removing the root cause of your happiness. Never allow others to make you feel inferior. They can only do so if you let them. Your happiness lies in your own hands. Take control of your life and your happiness. Don't give anyone the key to your happiness. 12. Do something new. The thrill of learning a new sport, a new hobby, reading a new book, a new language energizes the mind. It creates a sense of excitement and achievement. Do something that you have been meaning to do and putting off. The start is the hard part, but it becomes easier from then on. The feeling of elation and accomplishment from having done it will fill your life with positivity. You will be ready to take on greater challenges that the world has to throw at you. When was the last time you did something for the first time? 14. Fake it till you make it. Act confident. Look confident. Even if you are feeling scared from the inside. Don't show others your weaknesses. Walk with an erect posture and smile on your face. Pretend you're a completely confident version of yourself. After a while you will begin to internalize it. In other words, to look positive will become part of your basic nature. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Executive presence. Your professional image is the set of qualities and characteristics that represent perceptions of your competence and character as judged by your key constituents, i.e., clients, superiors, subordinates, colleagues. Leaders are appreciated for the first impression they make. Leaders that we admire have a quality which can't be seen, only felt. It is called executive presence. A right combination of correctly managing the body and mind makes an average leader grow exponentially. Research has shown that first impressions is a major factor in establishing executive presence. Whether it is presenting their results, displaying their decisions, interacting with their peers or teams, appearing for meetings or even video conferencing, all leaders are expected to be the pillars of their organization. The higher one rises, the more the need for making the best first impression. Good leaders with executive presence are great communicators. They are generally perceived to be more educated and well-informed than others. They develop better interpersonal skills, which has a positive effect on their personality. They make faster decisions and implement these more efficiently, set creative targets and personal goals that can be achieved on time. An increase in their self-confidence and morale leads to development of gravitas. Let's talk about gravitas. Gravitas is that magic quality that inspires people to follow you. That ensures that the boundaries are not crossed. People maintain a respectable and appropriate distance from you without having to tell them. That gives you credibility and an executive presence. You either have it or don't. It can't be faked. What then is gravitas? Gravitas is your personal brand. It is what separates you from the pack. Leaders with gravitas command respect. Others demand it by virtue of their position. Gravitas has nothing to do with age. It is your mileage. It comes with experience. Gravitas helps you to choose carefully between confidence and arrogance. Your gravitas lifts you up as a leader where you are able to make objective, fair decisions. People look up to you because you have gravitas. You know when to speak and when to remain silent. Gravitas is the ability to remain calm, composed and handle bad situations with grace and courage. Leaders with gravitas don't often show extreme emotions. Managing your social media image. Social media is an integral part of our lives. In the day-to-day hustle-bustle, we use various forms of digital media for communication. However, since this communication is not face-to-face, many times we forget the basic etiquette that would have applied. We start using short forms, abbreviations, excessive punctuation, wrong tone of communication due to excessive use of social media. It then becomes more important to realize that digital communication on social media is no different from face-to-face. The same rules apply on social media as would apply in normal one-to-one communication. Your digital footprint is the mark that you leave on different social media and websites. Comments, posts, shares, likes, upvotes, blogs are all examples of your online presence. In this digital age where friendships and popularity are measured in likes, it is very essential to have a clean and professional digital footprint. Most of the hiring now takes place online. Whether it is Facebook or LinkedIn, Snapchat or Instagram, irrespective of the app or social media platform, people are watching and observing you. The kind of posts and material you post, your comments, your images and responses are all being noted and filed away by someone. That someone may be your next boss, your next employer, your next partner or your next investor. And the important part is that they are forming an impression of you just based on your digital presence. In many cases, without ever even meeting you. And you may never even come to know about it. Hence it is prudent and wise to have a good digital presence. Ways to ensure a professional and clean digital presence. Different rules must apply when interacting on different social media platforms. Social media platforms can be categorized into 1. Professional platforms. 2. Social platforms. Professional networking platforms, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not a friendship or dating or image sharing site. Remember to avoid any personal comments, images or contact whatsoever. Please keep it professional. Use a professional photo on professional sites like LinkedIn. Get a proper image clicked in a studio or for a professional with a pleasant expression. Your image is the first form of contact for a person who visits your profile. Your profile must be complete in all respects. Complete as much information asked for as possible. The information given must be correct and verifiable. This gives you credibility and makes you appear reliable and honest. Use keywords and power words that can help you to come up in searches by recruiters and influential people. In the work experience or summary sections, while it is good to be honest, avoid excessive mention of failures or setbacks. Instead mention the failure and what you learned from it. Use a storytelling format to describe yourself and your life's journey so far. No spelling mistakes, typos. Spend as much time as you can on proofreading and spell check as you would on making your profile. If you want to add someone in your network, do your research on that person and then approach them. Address them properly while sending a contact request or asking for a recommendation. Send a small note along with your request and thank them once they have added you to their network. Do not ask for a favor or sell something immediately upon being added. Relationships takes time to mature. Cultivate the person, like their posts, engage with them and then at the right time, approach them with your offer. Try to help others if you have information or a skill that you can share. This is one of the best ways to get noticed. Spend time on writing original posts, blogs. Appreciate others' writings and posts and you will be similarly rewarded. Give credit where it is due. Don't share or use others' posts or blogs without giving them credit. Other social networking platforms. Be smart and witty. Post things which other people can share. Don't post photos or material that you will regret later. Don't be childish and immature. Remember that your posts will be seen or shared by people who are not in your network. Someone is always watching. So be careful about what you post. Pay special attention to grammar and spelling. Add to others' knowledge. Add value in your posts rather than simply repeating or retweeting. Engage in constructive information that makes you look good. Pay it forward. Help others without expecting anything in return. Don't keep sending friend requests. If someone does not accept for a considerable amount of time, do not contact them again. Work on remembering people's names and interests. Find your common ground, interests, life experiences, occupations, etc., and build upon it. Avoid sharing information of an extremely personal nature as it can be misused. Beware of stalking, phishing and fake news. Get familiar and use the privacy settings to your advantage. Some situations need a personal contact. Here a meeting or phone call will be appropriate. Don't blindly use the social media for all occasions. Summary. Your first impression is very important and you get only one chance to make a powerful impact. It is very important to be prepared and know the type of people you are going to meet or situations you will encounter. This is life and in life, there are no retakes. The same is with first impressions. Low self-esteem results from you having a poor self-image caused by your attitude. If you have high self-esteem you will be confident, happy and sure of yourself. Your self-image will go up and your personal brand will become more powerful. Self-esteem is therefore crucial to you and is a cornerstone of a positive attitude towards living. You can develop the courage and self-confidence to overcome any adversity of life. Whether you are trying to build your network, grow your business, find a job, get noticed by the media, impress powerful people or simply make friends, an impactful, attractive and visible personal brand is the key to success. It helps in building your reputation, integrity and credibility. Social media is a double-edged sword. If used correctly, it can greatly enhance our self-image and personal brand. And if not, it can cause permanent damage in relationships. Knowledge check. 1. What is the meaning of first impression? 2. Why is it important to form a good first impression? 3. What are the ways of creating a great first impression? 4. What is self-image? What is its correlation with first impression? 5. List the ways of developing your personal brand. 6. What role does self-esteem play in developing a good self-image? 7. How does one develop executive presence and gravitas? 8. What is digital footprint? List the ways in which you can create a clean online presence. Get ready for the real world. Wow, what a personality Raheel has, man. I wish I could speak English like him, said Brijesh. Every time he speaks in class, I just feel like looking at him only. He is so popular in college. Member of the Dramatic Society, so in demand with the girl crowd. The teachers also love him. Yes, said Ahmed, I wish my parents had a lot of money. Then he could put me in English medium. I also could speak like these people in our class. Brijesh said, I studied in English medium, but it was in name only. All the teachers spoke in Hindi and the one who could speak decent English was a yoga teacher. I feel so inferior with this high-class college crowd. Ahmed said, I feel so depressed and angry that I can't match ever up to these people. Just then, there was a voice behind them. Raheel said, guys, I heard you. Do you think I always spoke like this? I too am from a similar background like you. That's not true, said Brijesh. You seem to come from such a privileged background. You think so? Said Raheel. Do you know my parents divorced when I was 8 years old? My mother brought me up in my village. But that's another story I will tell you. Tell me why you guys are so sad and underconfident. Brijesh told him. Raheel heard him out and then said, you know what? I think you guys suffer from low self-esteem? Self-esteem? Low? What's that? They asked. Raheel said, self-confidence means being personally assured of one's abilities, capabilities and potential. A talented man without confidence is like a car without spark plug. Confidence is the psychological steroid that boosts our power. Self-esteem is a way of being, think, feel and act that implies that you accept, trust and believe in yourself. Self-confident people trust their own abilities, have a general sense of control in their lives, and believe that, within reason, they will be able to do what they wish, plan, and expect. Having self-confidence does not mean that individuals will be able to do everything. Self-confident people have expectations that are realistic. Even when some of their expectations are not met, they continue to be positive and to accept themselves. For many years I've been fortunate to experience and work with people who've learned the secret. But what's the point of all this, said Brijesh. We can never become as popular as you. You speak so good English. You know how to dress, how to talk to girls. I feel so shy even sitting next to a female in class. I feel I will forever be stuck like this. Raheel said, no. That's not true. Brijesh and Ahmed, listen to me. I will tell you the benefits of having a high self-esteem. When I was studying in the village, one day my uncle came and asked me some questions. I answered very boldly. He was impressed and told my mother about a scholarship that was available to village students to study in a public school in Delhi. My mother was very shy and underconfident and she wouldn't go and inquire on my behalf. I by myself went to the village head panchayat about 3 kilometers away and found the details. I coaxed the headman to fill the forms for me and immediately I got the scholarship. That's how I got admission into Delhi's finest school. Improving your self-esteem. Ahmed said, Raheel, bye, all that is fine, but it's too late now to think of all this. We have exams and projects. So much work. We will have to start thinking of placements as well. How do we even think about our self-esteem? But that's exactly my point, said Raheel. Unless you raise your self-esteem and confidence, you will not attain success. You will remain on the fringes of success. Let me tell you about the affirmations. Raheel said, every day that I felt angry, bitter or depressed or inferior to others, I used to talk to myself. I used to tell myself that I am the best. Nothing can come in my way. Gradually I started believing in myself. That is called positive affirmation. Positive affirmations are carefully worded positive statements that are designed to establish new thinking patterns in your mind. Using affirmations is a very effective way to build self-confidence. 1. The way to use affirmations is to repeat the statements to yourself, out loudly. 2. When you repeat an affirmation, feel it, believe it, and know it. 3. Put some positive emotion into it. 4. Allow yourself to experience feelings of joy, satisfaction, power, and self-confidence as you recite each affirmation. 5. Another great way to use affirmations is to say them while looking in a mirror. 6. Use words like I can. I will. Brijesh and Ahmed said, thanks Raheel, from today, we promise that we will not feel inferior to anyone. We will focus on my strengths and try and think positive. Applied knowledge. 1. Imagine yourself in Raheel's place. How would you react when faced with life's challenges? 2. How can you practice what Raheel has suggested in real life? 3. What can we learn from Brijesh and Ahmed? How can we avoid developing their attitude? 4. What are some affirmations that you can use in your daily life?